Hello everyone, I'm Santiago, and today I'm going to be testing Total War Warhammer on the Geforce GTX 750 Ti. And for previous monitoring, I'll be using cam. If you want to learn how to use it, click on the top right corner of the video where the cam logo is, or check the description below if you want to learn more. So, Total War Warhammer by the Creative Assembly on release date today. So, what do I have to say about it? Well, like any Total War game, it runs terrible once there are a lot of units clashing in battle. So I'll show you first 1080p, no shadows, and unit size on small. As you can see, I have a lot of units here. I tried the biggest battle I possibly could. I did a custom battle with a lot of units. When I start the battle, you'll see. As you can see, there are thousands of soldiers on screen at the same time. Once they clash in battle, it will be an awful frame rate as usual on Total War games, especially this one. And as you can see now, we are on pause. We are below 30 frames per second, but we'll get like to 10 FPS or something like that. The thing is that switching resolutions won't help, since when these units are clashing in battle and the FPS are very low, the GPU usage drops very drastically. As you can see, we are dropping to lower than 70% usage, and we are having 20 frames per second, 15. Yeah, like on all Total War games where there are tons of units on screen, that's what happens. So you'll say, hey, but if you switch to 900p or 720p, it will help. Not really. Since it seems to be a CPU bottleneck or an optimization issue, there doesn't seem to be a difference. And when I change to 900p or 720p, the problem is that, well, I cannot keep recording. It will have a black video, so I will record using my camera on 900p. As you can see, we'll use this setting right here. Yep. So yeah, if I switch to 900p or 720p, I cannot record with Shadowplay. So what I'm doing right now is using my camera, and as you can see, even switching resolutions doesn't help. We are still having 12 frames per second. But remember, this is because there are a ton of units on screen. Even turning off shadows doesn't help in this case. So my suggestion is keep the unit detail at the minimum and the unit size on the minimum too. Building detail also the lowest, and if possible turn off shadows, and that's the best experience you can have. I'll show you more situations now. Now on 720p, as you could remember, on 900p we had like 12 frames per second. Let's see now. As you can see, 720p and the same settings as 900p. Okay, let's see. So as you can see, we'll still have like 12 frames per second, 13. So yeah, kind of a mess when there are tons of units on screen, as expected, like any Total War game. I'll find out if it's CPU bottleneck or just unoptimized in my next video. On the 950, I will try it with the i3 and then with the i7. And here I'll show you when there are way less units on screen on 1080p, as you can see. So I'm using 1080p here, high shadows, the rest on a mix between medium and high, as you can see on screen. And as you can see, there are way less units, but if I make them clash into battle, as you can see right now, the frame rate is not that bad actually. It usually drops to 27 frames per second, but it's not as bad as the one the one I just showed you a second ago. I mean, look at this. Now it's way better. So keep that in mind. If you zoom in and there are a lot of units, it will run like complete shit, like expected. In this case right here, as you can see, the GPU is correctly used, so if you lower the resolution, it will run better. So keep that in mind. But I didn't overclock or anything like that because it won't help, since the GPU usage drops. So that seems to be a limitation by the CPU. So, but I will know if it's a limitation of the CPU once I test it with the i7 and the 950. I don't do it right now since the i7 is on another PC and the 952, so I don't want to tear them apart just yet. But I will test it out for you guys. I will let you know in the description once that video is up. But I mean, at least it's playable. You don't need 60 frames per second on this game since you're not aiming like on a shooter. But below 30 is not good for my eyes. So now I'm doing 1080p with a mix between medium and high shadows. As you can see here, I have, well, some units there and a lot of enemy units. But this time I'm going to show you that the performance issue here is because there are a lot of buildings. So this city will kill the frame rate. Hang on. So the city usually kills the frame rate, but I have a solution for that. If you don't want to be below 30 frames per second while using this city, what you should do is disabling shadows completely. So disable shadows, apply, and then let's see. Hang on a second. Okay. So as you can see, I turned off shadows. Then we go back and let's see if we are above 30. And as you can see now, we are above 30 without shadows, and we can fly just fine through the city. But well, I mean, all I can do now is just keep fighting and that's it. But the game is not running very good, just like Atila did. There are a lot of mixed opinions on Steam. Mostly are negative reviews, since the game is not running for some people. In my opinion, the game is not as bad as Rome 2. When it first launched, it's way more stable than Rome 2, trust me. It doesn't crash or anything like that. But it's not running very good. But I will confirm that once I use the i7 with it. So let's see now. As you can see now, we are getting around 30 because there are not that many units on screen in comparison to the beginning of the video. But yeah, that's pretty much all I got to say for now. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I'll go do the GTX 950 benchmarks. So thanks for watching and see you in the next video. Bye.